Hello there and welcome to Tom's Warhammer Minis. The Kabalites are the backbone infantry of any Drukhari Kabal, armed with a vast array of devastating weaponry and poisons. In this tutorial I'm showcasing a quick, effective and also gorgeously detailed take on the Kabal of the Poison Tongue. Now in terms of models, Drukhari are easy to paint. However, they are extremely challenging to make them look good, with a ton of sharp, crisp highlights across their armour that are desperately needed to make them actually stand out properly. Now I'll be showing the true power of contrast paints and how to build up the right undertone layers without the actual need of any edge highlighting to be done at all. The bonus, of course, the finish is exactly like the Eavy Metal style, but this is the beauty. There will be no edge highlighting across that armour, and if you've seen my other tutorials you know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So grab your paints, grab your brushes, let's go. And we're beginning with our Kabalite Warrior. Now this is the leader of the squad, and just to note to begin with, it has been fully primed in White Scar, as you would expect to see of my painting. Now we are focusing on the Kabal of the Poison Tongue once again. If you've seen the other tutorials you know exactly the colours I'll be using, but let's focus solely on this model and the things that we can do with it. So to begin with, we want that blue armour. The Kabal of the Poison Tongue has a nice dark vivid blue, and you're probably thinking, why are we going light? Now if you haven't seen these tutorials before, you're going to get to understand exactly one different type of way you can use contrast paints. Essentially we're starting from light, building to dark. That is traditional with contrast painting, but contrast paints work really effectively over armour. Yes, it's true, if you use them as an underlayer. Think of this as the underlayering coat. We're doing blue, we want dark blue, we're starting with light, we're building up to that effect. And we can also work in some edge highlighting colours. So the colour we're beginning with is Frostheart. Nice and simple. We're going to take one part of Frostheart, and in a palette we're mixing 3 parts of Lahmium Medium with that. So it's going to be nice and thin, it's going to flow really well. If it pulls ever so slightly, and I'm going to use the area on top of the helmet there as an example, doesn't matter. This is an underlayer paint. As long as it's not too heavy, as long as it's not drenching onto other details, it's absolutely fine. So to begin with, paint that over all the different armor panels, just being careful as we reach other areas that we don't want to cover in blue, and we'll move on to the next stage once it's dry. Next up, we're taking Asurmen Blue, and we're taking one part of this and mixing it with 2 parts of Lahmium Medium, essentially making just a thinner glaze. Not quite a glaze, but it's that bit between a glaze and its contrast painting form where it doesn't overpower, it just tints. I'm literally applying this straight over all of that Frostheart and just bringing it to this kind of colour here. Now the reason for this step, think of this as now our edge highlighting colour, and we've got our complete underlayer in place when we do the next stage, which is actually bringing it to the lore accurate Kabal of the Poison Tongue colour scheme. It makes sense when you see it in the next stage, just trust the process. Next up, we're creating a mix that's going to bring that armour all together and look exactly like the Kabal of the Poison Tongue. Now to begin with, we need to create a mix in a Citadel palette. I mean, I use the Citadel Skull one, it's perfect for this. We're going to take 4 parts of Leviadon Blue. Think of this as the dark part that you're seeing here. We're then going to add into that mix 1 part of Stormfiend. Think of this as the rich part. And to help it flow, we're going to take Lahmium Medium, and this just gives us a bit of control with that mix. So mix that all together. Quite simply, you're painting it over all the surfaces up to the edges, not including the edges. It means we have no highlights to do. It's all in place for us. It's crisp, it's sharp, and with that control that we have, we can get Eavy Metal style highlight lines all over the model without having to do a single thing. It takes time. It's worth it. It would take a lot longer to highlight it by hand. So put that together, take your time, get it done. I am going to shade it in the next step just to give a bit more saturation, a bit more depth to it all. But this is what we end up with. Next up, I'm taking Tyran Blue shade paint and I'm painting this over the entire armour. No need to thin it down. What this does exactly for me, I've explained it in posts on my own Instagram. I call this an enhancer paint. This is going to give a lot more saturation, a lot more depth, and just really make that blue become a lot more vivid. It just really enhances the overall look, and that's exactly what we need for a good model to stand out. Be at the tabletop, be in your display cabinet. So Just apply a thin amount. Just be aware it's quite thick if you put too heavily. Just make sure you've got a nice even layer over the entire blue armour, and it will really stand out nicely. Now that dry, we can move on to the next stage. Next up, I'm taking Black Templar, and I thin this down the 1-to-1 mix of Lahmium Medium. Now this has gone over the entire gun casing, and I'm going to do other bits with that later on, but just paint it straight over because the rest of it's going to be metallic details. And all the soft seal armour around the model, including the inner bit of the dagger there, as well as the handle grip. Now, I've made not a humongous pull, but I made a big enough pull that it's going to last for a while in the palette, in that sense of that 1-to-1 mix, because I'm going to be adding more to it later on. But for now, I'm leaving it to dry. I'm going to move on to some other details, and then when it's dry, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add more, but I'll explain that when I do so. Once again, I'm doing a trust the process kind of scenario. For our flag, I've taken Gryph Hound Orange, thinned it down in a 1-to-1 mix of Lahmium Medium. You only need a tiny amount because obviously it's only this small surface area. The Lahmium Medium, thinning it, but also giving us a lot of control over this large flat area. And as you can see, the paint's settled into the recesses, but it's not pooling excessively. It's got a nice even layer across. This is the kind of look we're looking for. Don't worry about it being absolutely 100% perfect. We're adding to it in the next stage, exactly like we've done with the blue armour. But for now, we need this underlayer colour all over. Next up, I've gone back to the Black Templar because mine are completely dried. And essentially what I've done here, I've only done one more layer, but I've applied it a little bit more heavily than I normally would. In the sense I've got a bit more on the tip of the brush, and I've just let it settle more heavily into the flat areas. Again, painting up to the edges, not including the edges. Leaving that natural first layer as the highlight in place, meaning our black armour is completely done. And next up, we're finishing off base coating that flag in the exact same principles that we've done with the blue armour and the black. Painting up to the edge, not including the edge. The colour I'm using here is Baal Red. And when it dries, it will give this real blood vibrant red look. Especially if that orange is a highlight in the background, it stands out really well. We'll add a transfer later, but we'll talk about that at the end. Next up, we're base coating and highlighting all of our brown details. So to begin with, let's turn it around and we're going with Gore Grunter Fur. Nice and simply, I've done it over these two kind of, cylindrical parts, as well as the bag satchel. Some have a couple more bags, just a simple base coat of them. Once it's completely dry, just a tiny edge highlight of Karak stone. You see just on the base there and just around the bag, just picks it out nicely. Turning to the front, on their cloth, you'll find quite a lot of them have either one or more of little bones, and we're just picking them out in a very classic way of skeleton horde. And again, once it's dry, just a tiny edge highlight of pallid witch flesh. Next up, we're going to base coat and highlight our reds all in one go. So first of all, let's start on the cloth. And for some of the Kabalites, it includes little ribbons. Sometimes you've got a little bracelet around their ankles. Other times it's in the shoulder pads up here. But generally most of them either have a sash cloth at the front and the back, depending on some of various sizes too. Nice and simple. Start off with a base coat of Flesh Terror's red. Now once that's done and it's drying, let's go to the eyes. Now I've been a bit lazy, I went over the blue because we can pick them out. They're quite big eye slots. So we're just going to pick them out with Evil Sun Scarlet. Then, once everything's completely dry, we're going to take Wild Rider Red, we're going to dot the eyes, and just simple edge highlights of all of that red cloth, including the ribbons, nice and simple. And that finishes off all of our red details. Next up, let's focus on all of the base coats for our metallic details. We've got three important ones to use. They are two that are very similar, but they serve very unique purposes. So let's start with those, and that is our silvers. So to begin with, we're going to take Iron Warriors. Now this is a very dark silver, and I'm using this over big areas. So things like the bayonets, the gun barrel, you've got the chains at the back, as well as the handle of the dagger. It's big aspects like that. Again, you've got up here for the actual banner, a little bit of metal with the pole that's holding it. Exact same principle. On the opposite note, I've also taken Iron Hand Steel. Now this is a very important paint. It is a base coat. It is our brightest silver that is a base coat from the Citadel range. This is for all of our little spikes. Now silver and blues don't go very well together, in the sense where you see the bronze gold that I've done, that stands out nicely because it's a warm colour against that blue cold. Silver and blue are very cold, but because we've done very dark blue, because that is the traditional colour for the Cabal, the Poison Tongue. Bright silver stands out. This is for our little spikes. I've done a little ring around, the bracelet, around the ankle there, but we've got lots of little spikes, and depending on the model, they do vary in location. So you've got helmets, you've got knees. Sometimes there's a lot more knees. Sometimes you have them on the back of the knees as well. You get some of the arms, so like on the wrist here. And, it just varies. Just take your time, check each one. You've got a little bit of the cable on the shoulder as well. We'll go into the colour of the cable in the next step, but it's all those things to pick out. Finally, for all of our bronze gold details, I've taken Brass Scorpion. Now, while it's a layer paint, it can absolutely be used as a base coat, and this is for all of the remaining details. Nice and simple. Again, things to point out, they do vary in locations, so things like these symbols, you might find on some of them they're on the wrists as well. Just to be aware of, you don't want to miss them, it's something I've done. The same for these splinter barrels, I've put the Brass Scorpion in there as well. Next up, I've taken Moot Green, and I'm treating this a bit like a base coat and a relayer. Just those cables, I've just picked them out. That's all it's for, it's just to give that bit of that green glowing energy. Nice and simple. Next up, it's time to shade our details. Now, to begin with, there's a couple of things we can actually do to really help us here. Look at the Brass Scorpion details. Is there actual recessed detailing on the ones that I've done? Not really. You've just got the little stud there, which we can pick out of non-oil, and I'll explain that in a second. There's no actual point to shading them. Go on to our Iron Hand Steel, those bright spikes, they're so small. Is it worth shading? The answer is no, because it dulls down the metal. In a sense, we want them nice and shiny because it actually stands out against the blue. So the only silver that we're going to shade is the Iron Warriors. It's dark, but they're big chunkier areas. So the colour I'm taking here is non-oil. And with that, let's just joke here, the model's battle ready. We just need to highlight our metals, and we'll do that in the next step once that non-oil is dry. And lastly, we can be extra cheeky to speed up time, taking Stormhost Silver with a small dry brush and just gently catch all those edges in one go. The model is now finished. All we need to do is base it, and we are completely done. And there we have it. Our Kabalite of the Cabal, the Poison Tongue, is complete. And once again, he looks crisp and fantastic. They're just really great models. And of course, the banner is complete. I've taken two different transfers, the top one being the actual official Cabal, the Poison Tongue, the other one being a generic one, applied in that classic method of Hardcoat and Storm Shield. They are really great models, and this scheme is just really good. It looks complex, it looks like it takes ages, but the reality is far different. By doing it in this method, we're only doing a fraction of the time it would actually take to really individually highlight all those things, and it's crisper and a lot neater too. Now, if this tutorial inspires, then be sure to give it a like. Make sure you share as well to help others and inspire them too in finding all the different content that's on my channel, including many award-winning tutorials that have actually won double gold medals, especially in my Armies on Parade cafe that I did this year. Also, be sure to subscribe, because that means you keep up to date with all the latest videos, and supporting me I really value. It really does mean a lot, and it means I get to continue supporting you, the awesome Warhammer community. So, until the next video, do look after yourselves, and happy hobbying.